Okay, this is an old story from the Middle East, an old myth from it's called the Curse of Agade, and it's from the time of the Akkadian Empire, created by Sargon of Akkad. And basically the story goes about how one of Naram Sin, a descendant of Sargon, he's ruling over the Akkadian Empire, and it's about the fall of the Akkadian Empire and it being destroyed. And basically, the gods leave the they leave Acadia. They just leave and they go up into heaven and they don't return. And Naram Sin is very upset by this. And for 7 years, he's very depressed, not trying to understand why it is the gods left him. And so he even tries to make good with the gods, and tries to pray and so on. And he gets no answer. So he eventually just gets angry and pissed off. So he decides, you know what? If the gods are going to abandon me, then I'm going to get back at these gods. So he goes up to this temple of a god, and he destroys it. He tears it to pieces in order to inflict his wrath upon the gods, because he's angry at them for leaving him. So, and this ends up resulting in a punishment, where Enlil punishes him by destroying his entire kingdom, by destroying the entire empire. Right? Now the main part I want to cover is this part here, because I think it's pretty interesting, because it mentions these mysterious people called the Gutians, and they're very mysterious people. I'm sure we won't be able to figure out who these people possibly could be, because they're just still so mysterious. So anyways, it goes, Enlil, the roaring, storm that subjugates the entire land, the rising deluge that cannot be confronted, was considering what should be destroyed in return for the wrecking of his beloved Ikur. He lifted his gaze towards the Gubin mountains, and made all the inhabitants of the broad mountain ranges descend. Enlil brought out of the mountains those who do not resemble other people. Interesting. So these people who are living in the mountains did not resemble other people. They did not look like the native inhabitants of Akkad. They did not look like the Akkadians themselves or any of the other people in the Middle East. So who could these people possibly be who did not resemble other people? Enlil brought out of the mountains those who do not resemble other people, who are not reckoned as part of the land, the Gutians, an unbridled people, with human intelligence, but canine instincts. A people who have the intelligence of humans, but the instincts of animals. So they're like a subhuman type of race of people of some kind, who, although having human-like intelligence, they seem to have the instincts of animals. Interesting. So, an unbridled people with human intelligence but canine instincts and monkey features. Monkey features. Interesting. So people with animal instincts who look like monkeys. Now, I'm sure there aren't any people around today who look like monkeys and behave like animals, right? I mean, surely we couldn't possibly find a match in our modern day world for this race of people that they're talking about here. I mean, that would be just so crazy. I mean, a people with human-like intelligence but animal instincts who look like monkeys? I mean, who on earth could they possibly be talking about? I haven't the foggiest. Like small birds, they swooped on the ground in great flocks, because Enlil, they stretched their arms out across the plain like a net for animals. Nothing escaped their clutches. No one was left their grasp. Messengers no longer traveled the highways. The courier's boat no longer passed along rivers. The Gutians drove the trusty goats of Enlil out of their folds and compelled their herdsmen to follow them. They drove the cows out of their pens and compelled their cowherds to follow them. Prisoners manned the watch. Brigands occupied the highways. The doors of the city gates of the land lay dislodged and were covered with mud. And all the foreign lands uttered bitter cries from the walls of their cities. They established gardens for themselves within the cities, and not as usual on the wide plain outside, as if it had been before the time when cities were built and founded. And the large arable tracts yielded no grain, the inundated tracts yielded no fish, the irrigated orchards yielded no syrup or wine, the thick clouds did not rain. So it's almost as if civilization just reset itself, as if all civilization just collapsed, and it's like as if this before the time when cities were built and founded. So these people who did not resemble or look like other people, who had human intelligence but animal instincts and looked like monkeys, showed up, destroyed everything, and civilization practically went back to it was before the cities were built and founded. Probably because these people themselves did not build cities themselves, so they did not know how to properly manage these cities, for all we know. Anyways, I just thought that was interesting. Thought I'd share it with you guys.